Okay, folks, welcome to the channel again. Well, something I discovered, and maybe not everybody has this. This is like a pretty big splitter. And I use this one, I got this from an old saddle shop that I took over some machines from. But this is like hand cranked. And it is, I believe, let me do the measuring here. It is 6 inches wide. But with that blade in there, I can really easily split this leather down. Now, if you got your regular Osborne splitter, I'm not saying you can't do this. It's just going to be a lot harder than what it is for me. This knob here, that is for pushing in or getting the thickness right. And there's a gauge over here. And now I got it set at exactly 1 millimeter now. Now, I got fairly thick leather. And if I want to use leather for my foundation, then I'd rather glue on 2 layers than 1 layer. Now, I want it to glue pretty good, and I want it to sand easy, so that I get, for whatever foundation I'm going to make for whatever button, that I can get it just the way I want it. Now, for the long buttons, and I mean, this is kind of irregular, but you'll see what I'm trying to say here. On this machine, I have done rawhide. I can do rawhide on it, and in one pass, even when it's bone dry, but it's not good for my blade, so I'm not doing it. But anyway, I put it in here, and I just start cranking it up. Now, what I used to do is whatever I split off, I used to throw it away. So this would end up in the garbage bin. Now you can see it's already a lot thinner, but what I took off is still thicker than what I started out with. So I can do this one more time, and I'm just going to do that because, and you'll see here in a minute, the point I'm trying to make is that with the hair side on the leather, it not only has body, but it has a certain stiffness, which means I can't mold it as good as I want it to. Where this split is the exact same thickness, but it gives me extra body, but it doesn't have the same stiffness. And when I do this, you can easily see here and here, which means I can shape and mold this a lot better than I do this. On the other side, since it's a split, it's got 2 flesh sides, so to speak, which means that whatever I'm going to glue, whether I'm going to glue it on the body of whatever I'm working on, or I want to create a certain mousing and I want to use this, I have flesh side. So I will have a lot better gluing, a lot better connection between the 2 layers. So like here, it's a quirt I'm working on. So I did it with this, and see how easy it gets around there, how easy it is to mold around. And then I've already done on these 2, did completely with like masking tape, and I gotta work this one out. And why the masking tape over the leather? Because I can draw lines in here that are pretty well visible even with a pencil, and that makes the rest of my braid work a lot easier. So again, You can, if you work with a narrower strip like this, you could do the same on your 86. It's going to be a lot easier if you got one of them hand crank deals. The name eludes me, but there's this company that is on every single one of like the Sheridan Leather Show and the Waco, and you know, there are people that make these walk around videos, and that shop is always there. They have the Brown machines, you know, with all the different sewing machines and skivers and what have you, and they also have this kind of splitter, but in a more modern day. This was made in, let me see here, in Holland, of all places. But like I said, they're also made in America. So I hope this helps somebody. Real good gluing on, real easy molding and sanding. To me, I'm not necessarily going to stay with the upper side, with the hair side on it, but for building up and making my foundations in leather, I'm going to go with the split that I would usually just throw away. Well, if it helps you, give us a like, become a subscriber, and if you got any questions, you can do it below there in comments, and hope to hear from you.